think it's probably one of the best cards that Duco's put together. I'm not used to being on camera.
Oh, sorry, you got Millie, right?
So we've got Millie and Frankie, which appeals to a new demographic to the traditional boxing. You've got Joseph and Jeff, who are really good boxers themselves, and they've got established records. Jeff has huge
Jeff Vaughn, yeah. Against Robson
Assis.
He's an undefeated fighter, right?
Yeah, he is.
8 KOs. I mean, he's a dangerous fighter.
He's got a lot of potential behind him, and it's a real test for Jeff if he can step up. Like, Jeff has fought some good fighters, and his last fight in New Zealand, he put on a 12-round exhibition where he won every round. So he's got a really good trainer in Glenn Rushton, and he's got a really good training regime, which showed in the fact that he went 12 rounds without stopping. So that's going to be a really interesting fight. I'm picking that to be one of the fights of the night.
Carlos Spencer versus Monty Vita. I mean,
exactly.
Jesus.
You kind of can look at any fight individually and say it's a great fight. Every card has its benefits, but the beauty of this is that any particular bout on the night could end with the fight of the night on. So it'll be a really interesting night. I'm really looking forward to it.
I mean, usually it's the main event. The crowd's usually dead in the start. But this should be a fully packed event from start to finish, I reckon, because it means so much.
With Millie and Frankie opening up the card, that sets the precedent for the night. It doesn't start slow and build into the main event. We're starting with a really good fight that's going to have a lot of really ardent support. With Millie, she's got basically the whole country behind her with what's happened with her in the past few months, and everyone knows that it has been a really tough few months, but she's picked this as a coping mechanism and a way to push through, which I really respect, and I think that's a great way of dealing with it. There's a lot of people who withdraw into their caves. She's pushed herself out there.
It's almost therapy, right? It's a form of venting your frustrations out, right? I mean, take it out on the run, take it out on the punching bag.
Boxing's always been a way for people to put their lives back on track. And look at a lot of boxers, and they've been to prison. They've had things happen to them that most people can't really relate to. But the fact of the matter is, boxing is a constant for them, and there's something really calming about hitting back. I don't know what it is. I'm not a boxer myself, but being able to just vent something and take it out on the back must be a really great thing for them. So it's good.
What are your predictions? So let's start with the Millie versus Thompson.
Look, they're all going to be really tight.
Yeah.
I think I haven't actually seen any of the boxers in the ring before, apart from Joseph. I haven't seen them in person before. I think Millie's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
What I've heard of Frankie is that she has great movement around the ring and around the pads, so I wouldn't be surprised if she came out and put up a good fight, but Millie would be my pick for the first fight. Second fight...
is that Ben versus...
Yeah, that's Ben and Willie.
Yeah.
I think Willie's height advantage is just going to be a bit much for Ben. He will be a strong puncher, and if he can get on the inside, then he could see a couple of really strong punches.
Yeah, that height was pretty intimidating.
It is. And if he can he just utilise that reach advantage that Willie's got by just keeping that jab out, then I think he has the makings of a pretty good fight, and he will be able to just keep Ben on the outside and keep him away from any real danger.
All right, Butterbean versus the Tongan Bear.
This is going to be probably a really entertaining fight.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
The Butterbean's had a few fights before, and he's always performed. This fight's a bit different in the fact that he comes up against a professional athlete in his prime.
Yeah.
And I know the Tongan Bear quite well, so I know that he's not soft.
And it's in his hometown as well. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a lot of support there. But I think with the way that the Butterbean's trained, and I think he's done about 200 rounds of sparring.
He seems hungrier. He seems focused.
He's got something to fight for. He started out in February this year at 210 kgs. And he's come down to 134. So that's a real testament to the work that he's put in. And, you know, someone that's dropped 70 kgs in just over 7 months, that you're really doing some hard yards. So he's my pick for that fight. I think his boxing ability is just going to be a bit much.
It's a brawl, right? Essentially, people want to see blood. They want to see a brawl.
It does descend into a brawl. But look, it will be a great fight. I know Butterbean's been training hard, and he is a fairly accomplished boxer in his own right. Never mind the fact that he's lost all the weight, but he is actually quite a good boxer. So it'll be interesting to see how.
And Carlos Spencer, Monty Beetham.
Yeah, that's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Carlos is in amazing shape. He easily passes a bodybuilder walking down the street. Monty's got 5 professional fights behind him. He reached 6 rounds with Shane Cameron, went to a decision. So he's got the pedigree. His dad was a professional boxer as well, so he's been brought up in and around the ring. I think that's going to count for a lot, and I think that may be the telling feature is that Monty's just had that experience in the ring. Carlos may start fast, but I think Monty will take.
I mean, he's fought Shane Cameron, right? Exactly. He did pretty well against him.
He was wearing 16-ounce gloves against Shane Cameron, which I think was the reason there was no knockout in that fight. But even so, in saying that, anyone that can go toe-to-toe with Shane over 6 rounds is
This is a longer interview than the Butterbeans.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
You can go back to him now.
We're just doing predictions, yeah. What's your prediction for Joseph Parker fight?
Joseph will be too quick, I reckon.
By knockout, or you think it will last the distance?
No, I reckon knockout. Later in the rounds, he'll be too quick.
Yeah, I mean, he does need some rounds to, gain some experience and develop more, right? I mean, because he's been knocking people out a couple of rounds.
Like Tyson. Yeah, he done alright.
Touche. Anyway.
Touche. See you, my brother.
Good luck for the fight.
Can you put that on my page?
Yeah, definitely.
GladrapChannel.
GladrapChannel. And what's your name?
Dom.
Dom.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I'll see you then.